Qatar, it provides what you call the clear guidelines and clear rules regarding to what you call the annual leave entitlements. By the way, how many of you have taken annual leave in your company? Or how many of you have been able to receive what you call the annual leave entitlements? In this video, I'm going to share to you some of the very important key aspects that definitely you need to understand when it comes to what you call annual leave entitlements in Qatar. What are you entitled to when it comes to annual leave? And according to the contract, what you sign with that company, and according to the law, what is the annual leave entitlements that you need to receive? Yes, most of you ended up discriminated in this kind of arrangements, but you are entitled to in any way or the other. So in today's topic, we are going to talk about what you call the annual leave laws for employees in Qatar. What are those? Provides what you call the clear guidelines and clear rules regarding to what we call the annual leave entitlements. By the way, how many of you have taken annual leave in your company? Or how many of you have been able to receive what we call the annual leave entitlements? In this video, I'm going to share to you some of the very important key aspects that definitely you need to understand when it comes to what you call annual leave entitlements in Qatar. What are you entitled to when it comes to annual leave? And according to the contract, what you sign with that company, and according to the law, what is the annual leave entitlements that you need to receive? Yes, most of you ended up discriminated in this kind of arrangements, but you are entitled to in any way or the other. So in today's topic, we are going to talk about what you call the annual leave laws for employees in Qatar. What are those laws? Do you know the laws that regarding annual leave? Do you know your rights regarding the annual leave? By the way, if it's your first time to come across Mexcreationtv, don't hesitate to give a subscribe button. Don't hesitate to follow. Remember, Mexcreationtv giving you a guideline on how smoothly to navigate the opportunities in Qatar, live in Qatar. The best information, advice that definitely will be given to you at this platform. By the way, if it's your first time, don't hesitate to give a subscribe button. Don't forget to share to your friends and comment. We always get to interact in one or the other. Let us try to look at what is the annual leave. Remember, in Qatar, when you look at the capital labor law, it provides what you call the clear guidelines regarding to what you call the annual leave entitlements for employees. And here I'm going to give you some of the reviews, some of the key provisions that definitely you need to understand. First of all, when you look at annual leave entitlement itself, if you've worked with that company for less than 1 year service, if you've worked for that company for less than 1 year service, you are not entitled to what we call annual leave. That is one. If you've worked with that company for 1 to less than 5 years of service, you are entitled to a minimum of 3 weeks, which are 21 days of what we call the paid annual leave per year. If you've worked for that company for 5 years or more service, employers are entitled to a minimum of 4 weeks, which are 28 days of paid annual leave, that is per year. So annual leave is definitely going to be calculated based on what we call the working days, excluding weekends and what we call the public holidays. Hope I've tried to share some things for you. Let us try to look at what we call the annual leave salary. Most of you have been asking me about annual leave salary. Since you are sometimes depending, but I'm going to give you what are some of those clauses according to the law and what it must entitle to you. During annual leave, employees are entitled to receive what you call a basic wage. If the employee is on a piecework basis, let's say, for example, you are paid per a given piece of work that you do. The entitlement is calculated based on what you call the average wages of what you call the 3 months. That's what you should understand. Let us try to look at what you call leave, scheduling, and carrying forward. Most of you don't know those, but people who are working in big companies or working in organized companies definitely will agree with me. There's what you call leave, scheduling, and adjusting. Scheduling, if employers have discretion or determine the days of annual leave based on what we call work requirements, employees may request what you call specific dates, but the final decision rests with what you call the employer. Let us try to look at what you call division of leave. With mutual consent, annual leave can be divided in two periods. Any division beyond 2 periods requires special approval by what you call your company or what you call the person responsible. Let us try to look at those people that carry forward. Employees can carry forward of up to 50% of their unused annual leave following the year, provided there is a written agreement between what we call the employer and what we call the employee. What about people? They paid for a payment for unpaid leave upon termination. Let's say, for example, you decide to terminate the contract, but you have unpaid leave. If an employee contract is terminated before they've taken their entitled annual leave, they are entitled to receive what you call cash allowance, which could be equivalent or should be equivalent to what you call the basic wage for the unused leave days. Hope I've tried to share something for you. For the person who was asking, take these key notes. Then let us try to look at what we call hijab leave for Muslim employees. Entitlement. Muslim employees are entitled to 20 days of unpaid leave to perform what you call hijab, but only once during their employment tenure. Conditions: the leave is subject to what you call employer's discretion and priority given to the employee with long continued service. Employees must not have taken hijab leave with what you call the previous employer. Also the Muslim employers in this company, definitely that's what you need to understand also in that kind. In that regard. Then, however, something that you need to understand when it comes to waiver entitlements. Employees cannot waive the right to annual leave. Any agreement that contradicts this entitlement is considered what you call a null and void in any way or the other. That is what definitely should understand. Okay, let us try to go to what we call public holidays. Most of you have been asking me a lot of questions regarding to what you call the public holidays. Employees are entitled to following public holidays that must be paid according to the law. We have Eid al-Fitr, where you need to be paid 3 working days. Then we have Eid al-Adha, where you need to be paid 3 working days. Most of the agreement when it comes to these public days, the government or the ministry announces that all employees will be given off. However, those that are still in what we call service or in their line of work that cannot entice them to go off on that particular day, you will be paid for that particular day. Then we have what we call the national day. We remember, 1 working day service must be paid for the national day according to the laws and the ministry. Also, we look at additional days. Let's say, for example, additional days, 3 working days, dates which are not specified by the employer. Yes, also those are part of what we call your entitlements when you call annual leave calculations or what you call entitlements. Remember, if employees are required to work during what you call public holidays, I told you, they are entitled to what you call compensation, typically in form of what you call additional leave or what you call should be a premium pay, and that premium pay should be the double what you receive on that day. Yes, remember, normally these provisions aim to ensure, why some kind of these provisions are being put under the labor law, it aims to ensure that there is adequate rest periods contributing to well-being of productivity of even what you call the workers, and making sure that work is done properly according to the law. Hope I've tried to share something for you. For the person who was asking me that, thank you so much. Remember, sorry is Mexcreationtv.